Just checking out that 1967 Super Skeeter there. Back in 1948, Holmes Thurman developed the first bass boat, named it her Skeeter. And ever since then, up to the most current FX20 here, we've been changing the way people fish and the technology behind bass boats. That old Skeeter there, that's one of the first fiberglass bass boats. That boat's longer than most boat companies have been in existence. And probably you could add up a lot of the companies, and they still ain't got as many years in engineering and technology that Skeeter has in their current boats. But what we want to get into today is we're going to talk about the back end, the technology, the components of the boat, and the reason for them. We're going to talk about the sponsons. We're going to talk about our different pad surfaces underneath. We're going to get down and dirty and look at the technology and the engineering in these Skeeter bass boats. It's really, really interesting story, and there's a reason why Skeeter designs their boats and engineered like no other. One of the first things when you walk up to a boat that you see about the Skeeter is our sponsons. These are a very, very, very special engineering component to our boat. Not only do they look sexy, but they have a lot of purpose to them. And one of the reasons we've got them patented. This sponson here does a lot of things to allow us to engineer the boat and different aspects of the boat from this little area right here. It's foam filled, so you've got flotation back here. But one of the things it does is when the boat tries to take off on plane, a boat tries to push down on the back end. A lot of boat manufacturers put excess plates and stuff under here to help on the whole shot. Don't need that with the Skeeter because of this sponson design. What it does is when that boat tries to push down in the water, it tries to push this sponson, which actually lifts the boat and helps it get up on plane. That's why you see the amazing hole shots speeds from a Skeeter bass boat, because of this sponson as it's trying to push down. As we learned in the curvature part of it, the air is flowing around this, which helps create lift underneath the whole boat. That is part of the sponsons. If you look, when we're running up on plane, this area from here to here, the sponson's actually out of the water. We wouldn't want that extra area to create drag because of the water flowing across of it. We're wanting air to flow across it to help in the design of it. So our sponson is helping create lift. It's helping create stability. If you get in a Skeeter bass boat and you try to put a lot of weight to one side, it's trying to push down on this side. This sponson, what it does with the flotation, is trying to lift that boat on this side. So if you put all your weight on this side of the boat, it's going to try to lift the boat, make it more stable. You can walk around. These sponsons actually act like mini pontoons. Easy boat to walk around on because it's got two big logs on it. This being in the water will help that boat float better, more stability in the water, less chances of swinging around in the wind. There's a lot of technology and reasons. At every Skeeter boat, we have different sponsons. If you notice the FX20, we have a lot bigger area of displacement here than our I-Class and our FX boats. The sponson is perfectly matched to the boat that it is working with. It's helping design that boat to make it faster on plane, more stability, better ride, smoother ride. The sponson also helps us allow to not get washed back. When the wave comes, it tries to slide under here, and it lifts up the back of the boat, so we don't need a splash well up there. Skeeter was one of the first to remove the splash well because of the technology in this sponson. That allows us, another thing, is to build our transom, which is right here in front, from this side all the way to the other side, from the full height all the way to the bottom. And the other thing is, Skeeter puts their fuel tanks back here in the corner, moves that center of gravity back, which makes it easier to lift the front of the boat, so it allows you to carry more weight in the front without the loss of performance and fuel economy. So what we're going to look at, if you look, we've removed our plate here. This is the back end of the boat. When you're at the boat show, open it up. You can see the torque transfer system, the aluminum knee braces. you can also see these fuel cells that are on both sides of the boat. What that fuel cell is it comes through here and it goes up and goes underneath the day box here, and that puts the weight right underneath on top of our turning chines. It keeps a good, solid, heavy weight, even balanced weight. We have a fuel selector switch right here. If you're by yourself, you can run the starboard side first and then the port side, which will help balance that boat and keep an even weight in the boat because of the added weight that you may have on one side versus the other. Or you can run them in dual tanks and it's going to flow evenly out of there. That's just a little bit on the inside. Let's get underneath and let's show you the fun part and the interesting part and the stuff you may not know about your boat. One thing you look is our primary running surface has a slight little V in it right here underneath the drain plug. That allows that boat to track straight when you're on full speed. This is the surface that the boat is running on with our nice strakes right here that are very aggressive, as we learned earlier. All of our strakes along the boat are almost blueprinted to perfection with this hole, the FX hole. You can see that little V, and what that does is allows our boat to track straight. That's why I don't take a lot of torque when you're driving the steering wheel that you're fighting against running down the lake. If you look here, the Skeeter bass boat comes with standard with a 12-inch jack plate here. We've got our Atlas hydraulic plate on this one, but we have our water foil area. Basically, our running surface runs all the way to the back of the boat here. It's not a very far distance compared to some of the boats that really move their boat up forward, which changes the geometry of the boat and limits what they can do with the boat. Our water foil area here allows relief so that prop gets good water flow. It allows that boat to lift. Designed with the jack plate, with the sponsons, this is all coming together in a puzzle that makes a very, very, very quality, stable, engineered like no other boat. From our primary pad, we're going to move up to our secondary pad, which is right in this area. This is where your mid-range performance is going to be judged. Our mid-range turning ability comes in here, and with the turning chines and with the good strakes here, allows that boat to do those super hard, that mid-range turn where it throws a lot of water. It's a safety maneuver. This boat, the back end of this boat allows the front end of the boat up there to not dig in the water, not bow hook, and is a very safe way to drive. When we move from there, we're going to move over into our tertiary, basically our third running surface. This is where our slow speed area of the boat control is. And if you notice, our transitions are very smooth from the tertiary to the secondary to the primary pads, which allows you to have very good safe control of the boat. It's not changing drastically for moving from one running surface to the next. It's a very smooth transition. So these are our three primary pad surfaces of the boat. The next area we want to talk about as we transition from the running surface is into the turning surface. If you notice here, it's more of a pie-shaped turning wedge. This is our turning chines out here, right on the edge here. What that allows us to do we talked about that weight of that right above here, our fuel storage, that allows that weight to be pushing against here. When you drop this side in to make a turn, this side's gonna, when you turn, that boat's gonna turn down and tip this into the water and become very aggressive, and allows us to do some amazing maneuvers and have a very, very safe ride at all speeds. This turning chine is specially designed with this hole and the bow to work in perfect combinations to give you the smoothest, the driest, and the safest ride on the market. Now, isn't that really interesting to learn the reasoning why Skeeter designs the back of the boat the way they do? It's amazing technology that is engineered like no other, and there's a reason why we have all this unique looking stuff on the back of our boats. It's our aerospace engineers They go out and they take their knowledge and try to build the best bass boat they can with the best performance, with the best fuel economy, the smoothest, the driest, the easiest fishability. It's basically the perfect combination all wrapped in one in the Skeeter whole difference. When you go to the boat show the next time, or the boat dealer, get back under here and look and have them explain how their boat operates. We're not afraid to tell you our technology of how we use our engineering to make the ride better for you. And it's not proprietary, it's basic physics, it's basic engineering, and you can look under here and you can compare the boat and buy the best boat for you. Thank you for tuning in to another set of tips and tricks, and tune in next time as we go more in depth into the Skeeter bass boat and the Skeeter Difference to help you get the best value for your buck. Thank you.